All right, welcome back to another. Oh, hold on. Welcome back to another episode of the Natty Teacher. You are at the Natty compound here, aka my house. Now I'm gonna absolutely just drain this rain. I'm gonna suck on some rain. Knock this bad boy down while we're doing this little midday pick me up. This is Friday. I'm actually filming this on Friday. I promise I did not go and intentionally get a pump before this. That would be cool. That's just called one tripping about 100 pounds of groceries, boys. That's what you do. That's what you do. You let your lady take in the baby, and you take in the bags, man. That's what you got to do, all right? We're going to suck on some rain. Hold on. I got a white gummy bear rain. It's like a 8.5 out of 10. It's pretty solid. Got to drink these bad boys room temp. Tell you what. So I'm going to have my wife help me out here. We got our daughter. She'll probably try to... There we go. Yeah. No what? Oh. Okay, so maybe it will just be me. Never mind. It's just going to be me. Got some... kids got to go eat. Yeah. She's going to go have some milk. I was going to try to say something goofy and weird there, but I'll just forget that. Now, let's start with... I'm just going to kind of go in order of where these bags are situated here. I got like 4 big ALDI bags here. So... this is just the food that my wife and I and our daughter eat in the week. So you can kind of get an idea of some of the behind the scenes stuff, like the main staples and all that, and I'll kind of break them down as I unload it. And then some of like the accessory stuff, so to speak, some of the more, fun things to eat and all that. So let's get into this here. Oh, that's good. All right. Oh, whoa! Little natty burp there for you. Okay. Now, let's get wonky here. Spinach. I use this for my shakes. My wife uses it for her shakes. I don't know if it can get any simpler than that. We get 2 bags. We freeze both of them immediately because spinach goes bad very quickly, unfortunately. If you are not a spinach aficionado, spinach goes bad really easily. Just as a heads up, I'm gonna move a few things around here as we go. So let me see if I can find the other frozen stuff here real quick. There we go. Okay. Frozen blueberries, same concept for my shake. My daughter also loves frozen blueberries, so that's cool. And yeah, it's kind of about it. Frozen mixed vegetables, pretty self-explanatory. Have that twice a day, 100 grams both portions, which you guys will see, actually, should have seen yesterday, I should say, on the full day of eating, which I'm filming today. It's some weird just inception thing, man. It's weird. Green beans, same thing, frozen green beans. I'm gonna go over the total at the end, yeah, but I'm not gonna go through each individual one. Whew, that'd be a lot. Check it. We got this all from, like I said, if I didn't say it already, I'm pretty sure that it's Aldi. All Aldi, man. Aldi is the way to go. Aldi is the way to go. It really is. So let's get these bad boys in here. Alright. Have a few bags left over, always a plus. Get to stock up a bit. I think that's it for the frozen stuff, so let's keep going on with some of the side stuff. Got some little nut mix for my wife. Got rice cakes for both my wife and I, so we got regular and also the caramel corn ones. The only downside to this is it does have a couple grams of sugar, but again, sometimes I like to indulge in something sweet without feeling overly guilty about it, so I'll knock down like 2 of these with some peanut butter and maybe a banana and like some honey or something like that as a late night snack if I'm still feeling hungry after meal 6. They're the bomb. They're very good. So a couple packs of these. And yeah. Let's see what else we got here. Oh, I gotta put those in the freezer. Oats. Same thing for the shake. If you watched my full day of eating yesterday, you would have seen. Blend these bad boys up. So 100 grams of oats per shake. So it's a pretty hefty amount. Again, the amount varies dependent on the stage of the year that I'm in. So obviously I have a pretty prolonged off season ahead of me, so that 100 grams will probably stay pretty steady. If anything, it may actually go up if my weight begins to stall in the future. But for now, 100 grams is pretty solid. Speaking of another treat, this is kind of a new thing. Not new, I've had it before, but I just haven't had it in a while. Grapes, but immediately going in the freezer. So talk about a really nice little late night snack. Also, what's crazy about grapes, and I need this, man. I turned 29 on Sunday, so I need this. Grapes are really good, and this is a good little factoid for you, honey. Grapes are really good for skin elasticity. So for keeping the skin a little tighter. Very, very nutrient dense fruit as well, of course. But I did not know that. And I learned that through the wonders of TikTok recently. Okay, Q-tips. We use these for cleaning our ears. Yeah, generally how they work. So you got to be careful with that. Wow. Very mismanaged bag placement there on my part. Whoops. Okay, avocado oil spray. Cooking all your food. I highly, highly recommend this. Also, just as a heads up, like if you're baking chicken, or like, I gotta back this camera or like angle this a little different. It's kind of cutting my face out of there. If you're going to like, again, bake chicken, as my voice trips out there, a variety of different baking things, you really don't need oil for a lot of stuff I've found. I think some people will try to oil stuff up too much. You don't really need it that bad. Like I'll use it for like, I'll do like a little small base layer for when I'm baking like potatoes or something like that, or that's kind of about it. Like on parchment paper so it doesn't like stick to the paper. But honestly, like I've found that like turkey burgers and chicken breast and, essentially in my steak, for example, which I'll show you guys in a minute, the eye around, I've found that if you just bake that on aluminum foil, 99.9% of the time, especially chicken and the steak, doesn't stick like at all. So you don't need to add any kind of extra spray or fats or oils unless you want to, of course. And if you're going to do that, avocado oil is definitely the way to do it for sure. Definitely the way to go. So let's add this to our spices and spray cabinet up here. Razors. Shaving. Deodorant for deodorizing the body. I will say this, and my wife, she gets mad at me because I get Old Spice still. I like natural deodorant, honey. I do. I like me some natural deodorant. I really do. There's one problem with it. You put it on and you freaking stink like immediately after. I will literally put on a quarter gosh dang pound of, some redwood scented natural deodorant. And man, I've given it the 2-week thing. I've done that before where I let my body release its pores or clean out its pores or whatever and tried to reapply. Dude, 2 hours into the day, I'm like, what is that smell? Because I teach middle schoolers. I'm like, it's probably them. And then I catch a whiff of the pits. I'm like, dear God, what happened? Old Spice. Okay, well, women. They're great, actually. If you find yourself one. A cool one, of course. My wife's the best. She really is. Okay, basmati rice. Actually, if we would have filmed this a week ago, I would have said only for eating, just plain rice. But I also now make homemade cream of rice out of this basmati rice. Tastes just as good, slightly different consistency, and far cheaper, and it's unenriched, meaning that there are no added vitamins and nutrients to it. And when you say that, it's like, wouldn't you want more vitamins and nutrients from your rice? No, not from your rice. You don't. It's mainly iron. So if you're if you want a surplus of iron, sure, I guess that's fine. But for the most part, unenriched, good old-fashioned basmati rice. It's the way to go, man. So that's for obviously consuming, with my, as my rice meals, but also, like I said, in cream of rice. This guy, little secret weapon here. $1.59 for this thing. That one I do remember. I remember that right off the top of the dome. Okay? $1.59. You're like, what is that weird membrane in the bottle? That is called sauerkraut. Okay? Sauerkraut. Stuff's the bomb diggity. I'll tell you what, you want to have a good healthy gut microbiome, have some fermented foods in your diet, bro. I have 2 30-gram servings of sauerkraut a day, both with my chicken and rice meals, and I'll tell you what, I take fantastical dumps, okay? 100%. Basmati rice. Okay, all right, let's keep rocking and rolling. Is that too much information? I don't know. No. It's an important part of the body, and with bodybuilding, man, pooping is a big deal. If you're not taking, here's the moral of the story. If you feel like you're struggling with your gut health, here's a little tip for you. Run out to ALDI or Kroger or Meijer or whatever. You can find it just about anywhere. Go get you some fermented sauerkraut, man, or some fermented cabbage, aka sauerkraut. It tastes really good. It kind of just tastes like crunchy salt, for lack of better terms. It's like kind of a nice little crunchy vegetable. Nothing crazy. Okay, anyways, eggs, whole eggs. I have 3 every morning. Please don't let anybody fool you and say, oh man, whole eggs are loaded with cholesterol. Well, when is cholesterol that bad of a thing, man? You need it. It's got good healthy fats in it. They're proven to be one of the most nutrient dense foods you can buy. And they also taste phenomenal. Phenomenal. They're a win. So I'll tell you what. So we already got a couple in here. So I gotta make a little room for these bad boys here. Hold on. Trying to do a couple things at once here. Here we go. All right, hold on. There we go. Cool. All right, where's the one that goes with that, actually? There is an item that goes along with that. Here it is. I just found it. Okay. Egg whites, okay? So you don't have to, waste the whole eggs, the actual, yolk of them. Just get yourself some liquid egg whites, man. They're pretty inexpensive. I do 200 grams with my 3 whole eggs, to give it a little bit more volume. Obviously, add quite a bit more protein. It's a win-win, man. It is a freaking win for sure. So we already got one in here. So let's reorganize a little bit. What you'll find, too, what's nice is when you get consistent with buying the same amount of each item every week, every once in a while, like this week, for example, for my wife and I, we actually have a decent amount of stuff I don't want to say leftover, but still that needs to be cooked and used and whatever. So it's kind of a win. We're going to have a nice surplus of food this week for sure. Bell peppers. Great for your tummy, loaded with vitamin C. I think even more vitamin C than a whole orange. It's by a lot, actually, I'm pretty sure. I have this with my last meal of the day. Again, super, super great for your tummy. Super, super nutrient dense. Eat them, especially in Michigan. I'm a teacher. I want my immune system to be as boosted as possible in an old school, vitamin like vitamin C. Hey, man, can't go wrong with it. Cannot go wrong with it. Okay, let's see what else we got here. Another source of our healthy fats. And pretty much all of these, let me see, there's 1 or 2 that did not need to be. But a little trick for you, if you are unfamiliar, that one doesn't need to be. That one doesn't need, this one, okay, these 3 do. Okay, avocados. Little trick for your avocados, if they are squishy already when you buy them, meaning that they're probably either ripe or very ripe, put them in the fridge. Helps with the shelf life, at least a little bit, I would say. I mean, it's not like it's gonna give you a month for your avocados. Still make sure you check on them and use them. But the ideal situation when you're grocery shopping is to buy 1 or 2 at least that are ready to eat, so then you can take them home and eat them. And then have another couple that are, need to be refrigerated. So bananas, we already had a buttload of these, so this would be way more. Usually we had way more than this. So we have bananas, usually we get about 10 pounds of bananas, but my wife, we had already, she had stopped off at Trader Joe's earlier in the week to grab a few things. So we already had some. So I'll just add those to our banana area. Looks like a couple of chimpanzees live in the house, man. I'll tell you what, there is a buttload of bananas. Buttload. Wow. Okay. I have one every morning. Honeycrisp apples, that's what you see sliced up, and if you watch that full day eating, you'll see that. We are fruit and vegetable fanatics. We are. I will tell you this, if you were to ask my wife, my diet now compared to my diet when her and I first started dating or met, vastly different. I was the epitome of eat as much protein and carbs as possible and as little of vegetables and some fruits, but really just ate like beef and chicken and rice. I didn't even really eat potatoes. I just was like, it was like all like rice, and that was it. Needless to say, my gut health and energy levels and overall like health and well-being vastly improved since we started dating. Interesting how that works. Don't ever be in a relationship with somebody who drains you. My wife, she just gives me energy. She does. She's like a AA battery for my soul. I'll tell you that. Huh? It's the fruits and veggies. Yeah, actually, she has nothing to do with it. So. No, I'm kidding. She doesn't. Cucumbers, okay? Bad boys. Again, very nutrient dense. The nice thing about cucumbers that I really like too, I have my serving of cucumbers with my first meal, is they're very, very water dense, and you could argue that it's a botanical vegetable or fruit or whatever. So cucumbers, some people consider cucumbers fruit, which I think is odd. I always have considered them a vegetable. I know, my wife's looking at me like, what the heck are you talking about, you moron? She calls me names off camera, not on. But yeah, no, they are very, very good for you, very hydrating, which is really nice. If you're on a contest prep too, I really like these because especially if you're monitoring your water amounts and you just want to have something like refreshing that's not just like broccoli or some undigestible green vegetable or something like that, cucumbers are a good way to go. And very inexpensive. I mean, like one of those cucumbers, and I buy 4 of them, get like 4 of them for like less than $4 from ALDI. And from most grocery stores as well. Those are pretty, the price is pretty even through that, okay? Dates. I like these as a treat, but these are actually more for my wife than for me. The ones from ALDI, I don't know what it is. They are like spectacular. They're far better than ones we've gotten from Trader Joe's, from Meijer, from Walmart, probably Kroger. Yeah, definitely Kroger over the years. These ones, I don't know if it's just this brand, the Dates Shop. A little plug there if you want to sponsor us. Phenomenal. It's so good. And the nice thing is too, is if you have any sweet cravings, have some of these. They're very good. Very, very good. But you got to be careful, though. Don't have too many of them, because one serving of them, like 2 to 3 dates, if you look at the back for 40 grams, 2 of them potentially could be like 110 calories and 30 grams of carbs and 27 grams of sugar comprise those 30 grams of carbs. So you got to be careful with them. I would not recommend having like 10. You could easily eat 10. They're delicious. I could have 10 right now. No problem. But then I would probably have diarrhea. So not a good move. Lemons, baby. Lemons. Yeah, my wife and I, we don't eat these because that'd be weird. But lemons, super, super nutrient dense, antioxidant rich fruits. Mix a whole lemon in with your water in the morning. You won't. Make yourself some homemade lemon water, man. Talk about a great way to get yourself hydrated. If you're somebody who works out in the morning, especially, this whole bag, I think it was like $3.85. Kind of expensive, actually, to be honest, compared to some other fruits and vegetables. No, my wife's saying no. I just go with what she says. Nope, very inexpensive, actually. I lied to you. I just lied to you. Very, very good. Very nutrient dense. Super hydrating. Literally, like I said, I'll take my 2-liter water that I have, that I showed in my full day of eating, like a big jug. It holds like 70 plus ounces of water. And I will just grind up a lemon and mix it in. I've only done half for now, but it's because we were really low on lemons. So I'm going to be doing a whole lemon. Get hydrated AF. Can't swear in here. I don't want to. I would say get demonetized, but I'm not monetized. So I guess I could swear on here, but who wants to do that? Come on. It's family friendly here. It's PG. PG. Some PG-13 things. Mainly PG, though. Then, what? My wife's looking at me. She's going to have a chat with me after this video. I have a feeling she is. What are these, mandarin oranges? I don't think they're mandarin oranges. What are they? Navel oranges. Again, essentially just a treat. This is not a consistent part of our diet, but usually I would say on a weekly basis we pick up kind of some, we got, like my wife earlier this week got some nectarines too. It's the summer. Splurge a little bit on some good fruit. So instead of going out and buying a bunch of bars or, sugary snacks or whatever, have some natural sugars, man. Go get a bunch of different fruit. I'll tell you what, if you would have asked me this 10 years ago, it would have been completely opposite. But now I would much prefer as like a snack instead of like a plethora of different candy and what have you. Give me like a fruit bowl, man. Give me some good fresh blueberries and pineapple and strawberries and all that. Forget the melon though. Give me a nice fruit bowl, man. We'll go from there. Now, here's a little trick for you. If you are looking for one of the best slept on ingredients for bodybuilding because of the amount of food you have to eat, get yourself some pineapple. And I get canned pineapple for two reasons. One, it's far more inexpensive. This thing right here was like, I think $1.30, maybe $1.50 at the most. And I will get probably a day and a half's worth of pineapple out of this. Okay. On top of that, the nice thing is, here's a little trick for you too. When you look at the back, make sure the ingredients just say pineapple and pineapple juice. And sometimes it'll say citric acid. That's okay. That is a natural, like an excrement, for a lack of better terms. It comes out of the pineapple. So you can, that's okay. But make sure it doesn't say like syrup or sugar or anything other than like pineapple and pineapple juice. That means you have found, a good product. Okay. But another reason we buy canned is because in Michigan, we don't have fresh pineapple just very inexpensively around the house. Like, I don't walk into my backyard and just be like, oh, here's a pineapple bush, or whatever, a pineapple tree. I don't know. Maybe I don't know how a pineapple grows, actually. Tree, bush, bushel, something like that. So we got our cans of pineapple. Gotta love it. Okay, so let's throw those in here. Get them stocked up. Super delicioso for sure. If you have stuck around for this long in the video, hey, props to you, man. Props to you. We got a lot of stuff that we're going through here. Unsweetened applesauce. This is for my daughter. We do prefer to buy organic, but this is all they had at ALDI. And it's, it doesn't have anything added into it, which is nice. The only ingredients are just apples and water, essentially, and ascorbic acid, which comes from fruit again, so it's okay. But it's okay. It's okay. Normally, we would prefer to buy organic. My wife usually gets it from Trader Joe's, and although this is a much larger serving, though, which is nice. But yeah, so that's the only reason we have that in. I don't really, neither of us eat that. But I grabbed a couple of these, Alani News. Just to have. They have an ALDI brand drink. I think it's called Summit or something like that I want to pick up. I think they're $1.19 per can, or it's Red Line or Summit or something like that, man. I don't really know. It ain't no rain. But they're pretty inexpensive. So I like to, I'm not a huge stim guy. It's not like I'm having a gram of caffeine a day or something like that. I try to keep my caffeine intake spread throughout a 24-hour period at 400 to 500 milligrams at the most usually. And my pre-workout only has 200 milligrams of caffeine in it. I don't like having a ton of caffeine before I work out. So a couple of these, have them kind of just whenever, usually at some point later on in the day, and go from there. Now, we actually had these already put away, but we took them back out. Speaking of carbs, no, we weren't speaking about carbs, but here is that. Like a prize fish. Russet potatoes, okay? Go and get yourself some good old potatoes, okay? My last meal of the day is some cubed potatoes with ground turkey, and I mix that in a little, mix that in together, put a little barbecue sauce, sugar-free, of course, and have my peppers on the side. It's nice. It's a nice little break from the monotony of having rice and cream of rice, essentially for every meal, and then oats, with my blended meal. It's just nice to have that. And then I got some, we got some sweet potatoes for my wife, so she should, should be digging those for sure. We'll leave those out for now because I gotta do some reorganizing down there, so we'll leave those out. And then last but surely not least, and again, if you've made it this far into the video, hey, glad you stuck around, friend. Thank you. Let's see. I'm going to leave one of these out, so I got to make one for my next meal, actually, which will be on the full day of eating. That was posted yesterday. My timer just ended the video. Sorry about that. So, this is why there was a weird little cut there. Eye of round steak. Black Angus eye of round steak. I'll tell you what, I Have Round for me is awesome for 2 reasons. One, it's super flavorful, three reasons. It's super flavorful, very inexpensive to buy. Like this pack right here, and it is what? We got 0.84 pounds, okay? So, better part of a pound of beef for like less than $6, okay? Now, obviously, I have some like, this one's like 1.3 pounds, and then I got a bigger one too that's like 1.37 pounds, and those are more like closer to the $8, $9, $10 range. But even then, still really not that much. And the nice thing about Iran, what I do with these bad boys is I will broil these instead of grill, so it's super easy and super quick. And actually, I'll turn the broiler on right now because our broiler takes about 10, 12 minutes to heat up, so I'll be done with the video by then. But I will, if you see the actual like fat, like the marbleization on the outside, I will broil these up and then trim the fat off too. So all that's left essentially is the innards here that has a little bit of that, marbleized fat through it. So you definitely still get some fat, but we're talking single digit amount of fat for a really good nutrient dense red meat. You cannot beat that, my friends. Sirloin's also really good. I will say that if you don't have I Have Round, or if sirloin is cheaper, you can exchange the two of them pretty easily. But you're not going to see me having a New York strip every day. First of all, it'd be way too expensive. And second of all, it's just a little bit too much fat. Then, of course, what bodybuilder doesn't have one of these bad boys? Chicken. Actually, there's 2 of them, but I have a pretty fair amount of chicken made. If I didn't, I probably would have bought 3 of them. So yeah, a couple packs of chicken breasts. Trim them. Trim your chicken breast. Do it. You won't. Do it. Okay, I have heard some, I don't know if it's Costco or Sam's Club, I have heard there is one brand in particular of chicken breasts that, I don't want to say it comes pre-trimmed, but that they're usually, maybe it's pre-trimmed, they don't have a ton of fat on them. If you find that, fine. But don't bake a bunch of chicken with a bunch of fat on it and stuff like that, man. Don't do that. No. We don't want to do that. It's gross. It's literally just pure fat. Okay, we're gonna chop that off. Anyways, I think that after all of 6 minutes, whatever it's been, it's finally it. That was a very in-depth grocery haul. I'll show you. I don't know if I have the receipts on me here. I know. Oh, here it is. Okay. So for all of that food, we are looking at, and this is, I'd say, pretty good for a family of 3, and we have like quite a few extra things we had to buy, like razors we don't buy every week, Q-tips we don't buy every week, dates is every other week, deodorant I don't have to buy every week. So there was a variety, and then like we got some extra fruit and stuff like that, so, take that into account with this. But honestly, right there. See if it zooms in or focuses in there. $171.63. Really not bad. We try to keep our weekly grocery budget in that $200 to $215 range, and we actually went over this week, to be real, because we stopped at Trader's and also went to Meijer. So we were a little over this week, but that's okay. But yeah, you can very, very easily get more than enough food for a good bodybuilding diet within that 100 to 150 range if you were to cut out some of the extras that we get, and some of the snacks and some of the smaller things like that. If you really wanted to just get just the essentials, easily can get it for 100, 150 bucks. Really, from Aldi. I will tell you this, and my wife can attest for this one, since we have switched from shopping at like Kroger to Aldi, it's significant. Like, it's like mind-blowingly significant. I would say this $171, honestly, if we were to buy all of these items at Kroger in the same amount like that we got from Aldi, I would almost guarantee it would probably be about $250. Maybe $230, a little bit less there, but probably closer to that $250 range. Like, it is a significant difference. I would highly recommend going to Aldi for sure. Again, I do apologize for the little cut there and probably for just ranting on about random things and what have you. But hopefully you enjoyed it. It's just me, man. So again, hopefully you enjoyed that grocery haul and that full day of eating yesterday to actually see the actual meals in play. But yeah, join me tomorrow for our Push A session. So we'll have our first big push session in the week. We actually have, I believe, it's either 1 or 2 more weeks before I have a scheduled deload already. I can't believe how fast this first training cycle is gone. But I can feel it. I can definitely feel that accumulated fatigue starting to come on. So, I'm glad we'll have a deload in the next couple weeks here, but we'll talk about that when we get closer to it. But so make sure you tune in for that. Make sure you like and share the video. I got my wife coming out here. She's not gonna be on camera though. She's just hanging out. Yeah, hopefully you enjoyed the video. Drop a comment below, any kind of feedback. Hopefully you got something from this. This is not normally the type of content that I produce, but figured, hey, why not? We'll mix it up a little bit and give you an idea of what the Natty family eats on a weekly basis with some extras too. If you have not subscribed already, make sure you hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications so we can, she's what I'm saying. She's going to subscribe. I know. It was her first words, actually. Make sure you hit the notifications so I'm at the top of your feed and you see me and I see you. It's awesome. It's awesome. We can have a chat. Drop a comment below. I'll respond to you, I promise. Okay. For today, I'm the Natty Teacher, and this grocery haul episode of our summer school series is out. I will catch y'all tomorrow.